welcome to Coffee Convo Wednesday. I have a guest and I'm so excited. My name is Cindy Simmons and I am the host of Coffee Convo Wednesday for Wednesday, February 27th, 2019, episode 149. I forgot. And with me right now, I'm super excited. This is the all Disney episode. This is Michele Atwood.
Hi.
So Michele Atwood is with themainstreetmouse.com. You can find them, the Main Street Mouse, on Facebook as well. And the reason I'm super excited about Michele being here is because we met over a year ago now at the International Festival of the Arts at Walt Disney World.
We did.
So that was really fun. And she was really nice to me because I didn't really know a lot of people. So I was like, hi, can you be my friend? And she and her husband Scott were like, hi, we're gonna be your friends. And it was great. So we were like kind of on that, same page or whatever. All right, if this is your first time joining us, this is Coffee Convo Wednesday. We're gonna be here, normally we're here like 15, 20 minutes, but I'm gonna encourage you to just like sit back and relax because now that this gal is here, we're gonna be here probably way longer than that because we have this like little, I want to say a problem. Problem sounds so negative, but we have this like little thing that every time we get together, where it's like 8 hours. It's like, I'm not kidding. So don't worry, it's not gonna be an 8-hour Coffee Convo Wednesday. Okay, it totally might be. But why don't you comment below, let me know what you are drinking right now. We are having ice water, cheers.
Cheers.
And plus, gosh, I feel like, when you have so much to say, like I feel like everything just wants to come out at one time and be like, I have all this stuff to tell you. I first want to literally address my dress.
Address your dress.
Address my dress right now because this is from this pretty girl right here. Because in addition to the Main Street Mouse, she and her husband also have Lost Princess apparel. And this is, if you can't see it, the Haunted Mansion, Haunted Charlie dress with pockets. Wait, I just want to like put my hands in my pockets right here. Hold on, where's the pocket? Okay, there it is. Okay, wait. So there, it has a pocket. Because pockets make everything better. Why is that?
I don't know. And do you ever notice that whenever a woman has a dress on with pockets, they have to tell you it has pockets?
It is. It's like a weird thing. Okay, we're gonna get back to that in a little while because I feel like I'm all over the place and I want to focus on her because she's my guest. So why don't you kind of tell everyone sort of how you came to be the Main Street Mouse and how you ended up here in Florida, and basically why you're here on the show today, besides we're going to be talking all things Disney today.
Okay, so for me, actually we started the Main Street Mouse as a hobby back in 2010, I want to say.
Wow.
And at the time I was working in finance in Detroit. And
Really?
Yes, and I didn't like it. I was one of those jobs that you have just to get by.
Right. Like it's not making you happy.
It wasn't. I used to look out the window all the time and think there's got to be more than this.
Because there is.
Because there is. My job got bought out my company got bought out in Detroit. And then I started doing the Main Street Mouse as a hobby because I'm a lifelong Disney nut. And like social media back then in 2010, everything was still kind of new, like Facebook and all that good stuff. And once I got online and started putting things out there, the Main Street Mouse grew quicker than I ever imagined that it would because lo and behold, there's a lot of Disney fans out there.
There are a lot of us out there.
There's a lot. And I didn't realize because I was in my little bubble in Michigan and didn't realize the potential of reach for social media at the time. Oh. So it grew and grew and grew. And then we started writing and doing other things. And then in 2014, we decided to give it a year. We were going to move down here and see what happens.
The weather was definitely better for you.
The weather was much better than Michigan. And we figured a year, we'll see what happens. And it'll be 5 years in June. So
something I kind of want to brag on about Michele is she has written 2 books. So it's called, the first book is Moving to Main Street, USA. And then she just wrote a children's book, y'all, called How Many Sleeps Until Disney, right?
Yes.
Okay, 2 books that she's kind of famous and she's on my show and I'm kind of excited about that.
Do you want me to pull the books out
Yes,
of the bag?
I kind of want you to show everyone. because I love watching people like reach for their goals and then get their goals, like actually get them. And she's to me like a walking example of someone who said, I have this dream and I'm gonna go for it. And so I've been following her for a while, and like I said, I got to meet her a year ago and her husband, and we just had such a great time talking to each other. And it's very rare that when you are, a woman who's not 20, that you can meet another. I'm not even.
Right. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
When you meet another woman that like is legit genuine, like a genuinely kind woman that wants to uplift other women. And I've been fortunate enough to meet just a few of those women. So when I find them, I want to like glom on, because I just want to like, yes, tell me more as I, eat all of this goodness up, or, tell me more as I eat popcorn. Like I'm so fascinated by successful women and what drives them and what's behind them. And so she's written 2 books. So I want to see the book.
Okay. So I'll do the first. I feel like it's almost like Christmas, like, or show and tell. Okay, so the first one, this is Moving to Main Street, USA. And I actually was approached to write this book in 2016. Somebody had, we'd already been down in Florida for 2 years, and a publisher had approached and asked, thought it was fascinating that, that we took a hobby and uprooted everything and took that leap from Michigan to Florida, and they wanted to know all about it. But when I wrote it, I wanted to write it from an approach of the good and the bad, because when you take a leap of faith like that, it's not always easy, and especially when you're moving, it was a huge risk.
Yeah.
And then when you move here, and then the blogging community and the content creators and such, it's a very competitive field that a lot of people don't realize.
I have learned that the hard way.
You do, and I learned it the hard way, and that's why we're kindred spirits.
Yes,
because we get each other.
We totally get each other more, and every time we hang out, there's like, oh, there's some other reason that we are friends. Okay, it's like, let's just like keep completing the list.
Yes.
So after you did that, was that nerve-wracking for you to kind of expose like the good, the bad, and the ugly and put yourself out there like that?
It was nerve-wracking, but I'll tell you, it was almost like a bless and release. Like, like I wanted to be as honest as I could. And things are hard, and life is not all, like when you move down here and you do this kind of a business, people think it's all Mickey Mouse and ice cream bars, and it's not. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So I wanted to be as honest as I could. And I'll tell you, the feedback that I've gotten with this book has been all positive, and people appreciated the honesty.
Because a lot of people, like you said, like people I don't think are so much honest anymore. So I appreciate that you were honest and didn't just share like fake book, like everything's real or fake and whatever, but that's not real life. Like you're giving a peek behind the door, which I kind of love.
No, and then I've had people ask since then. This book, the story here stops in 2016. The book was out in 2017, but there's like more to the story. So people are like, are you going to keep going? Because the book got better. It wasn't quite as depressing as those books.
So are you going to write another one then?
Yeah, except I don't know what to call it, because this is Moving to Main Street and I'm already here. So it's like I have to come up with something else, and then I wanna kind of pick it up where this one left off.
Maybe like Moving to Main Street USA Part 2.
Maybe.
Part 2.
Or living on Main Street USA. But I'm not really living on it, but it kind of goes.
But you're kind of living close to it.
Kind of.
All right, then tell me about the other book too, because I think this, while I love that book too, this book is just super extra special.
Okay, this one.
You're like Mary Poppins right now.
I know. I have my book bag.
And this is like a little tease of what's about to happen at the end of Convo Wednesday today, because someone's gonna take all that stuff home. Okay, it's just a little tease. Go ahead.
Okay, so this one is brand new. It just came out at Christmas time. And like Cindy said, it's called How Many Sleeps Till Disney.
Love it.
And the concept of the book is a countdown book for kids to take, or if you're going to go. I know when we lived in Michigan, or when I'm sure a lot of people do. Like you want to tell your kids in a grand way that you're going to Disney
because they get so excited.
And we get excited as adults too.
Yes, we do.
So basically, the book counts down how many the parents tell her. We're going to Disney World, and she counts down 7 nights of what she's looking forward to before Disney. And then in the back of the book, there's extra pages to where the child can bring the book with them or make special notes. like it says, okay, now it's your turn.
Oh,
and then you can write down what you're looking forward to. And I think it's a great idea.
And it's pretty. Like, it's a pretty children's book. Like, super pretty. Someone's going to get that too. Just saying.
So,
I love that.
And it's, it's the book was really special for us because we had lost a child, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but
we will both be boo-hooing.
Okay, right. But this character is named after her. It's Gracie, and this is our way to send her on adventures, and she can bring happiness to other people.
Goodness, I am gonna full on
Oprah
ugly cry right now.
No, it's good. It's good.
It is good.
It's wonderful, and the feedback. The feedback for this book has been wonderful because I wanted kids to read the story and love it and get excited to go to the parks and be able to resonate with her. And okay, so she's looking forward to seeing the castle. What's your child looking forward to seeing? So it's all good. It's all good.
It is all good, and I love that you were brave enough to talk and share your story about that as well, because I think when you do that, it helps other people who have gone through that as well.
That's right. And you said something about being empowering towards other women. I think a lot of times when you're brave enough to talk about the things that you've been through, you don't know, it might be hard, but you don't know who you're helping.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that maybe feel alone on certain things. It could be anything.
Yeah, right. It doesn't have to just be
it could be anything.
A loss or anything. Yes. It just, I think you're right. It makes people feel like we're not alone. We're not going through this by ourselves, because when you do go through something traumatic like that, or anything, like you said, you just sometimes feel like you're alone, and then you're kind of living on Lonely Island, and that's not a good place to be. I was just talking about that at work today with a friend. Like, that is just not a good place to be. It's better to be surrounded by people who understand and get what you have gone through. So
I fully agree, and it's not always easy, but I think you have that choice to make, especially if you have a somewhat of a platform and you want to use it for good.
Right.
And if you put out good, you get good back, and that's what I try to do.
Let's cheers to that. I love that. All right. This is Michele Atwood from themainstreetmouse.com, and besides being she is an author, she owns an awesome apparel company. She covers everything that's going on in the world of Disney. And the reason I also wanted her on here, because there's so many things happening at Walt Disney World right now. And we're closer to Walt Disney World, but there are things going on at Disneyland all the time, obviously, which is where I grew up going to the Disney parks. But we wanted to kind of focus on Walt Disney World right now, because there are a couple of new things. And the first thing we're going to talk about, there's something new at Magic Kingdom. And I know a lot of people are getting ready for spring break and summer vacations, or maybe coming for, the Not So Scary Halloween party or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party. So what is happening at Magic Kingdom?
Okay, so actually I had found this sort of by accident, if you will. When I go to the parks, even when we're with the kids or whatever, I'm constantly in reporter mode, and I'm always looking for things.
Oh, she is. She's always paying attention.
I don't know how to shut it off.
Which is good for us.
So I noticed that there was, in some of the lands, there was these digital screens. And almost a kiosk. Yeah. So I went over there and decided to be nosy, and I asked the cast member, "What's this all about?" And what it is it's kind of like on location guest services, if you will.
Because normally guest services is only just right at the front of Magic Kingdom or the parks, right?
Yes. So this is a way that they have different. It's in each land, and it's only at Magic Kingdom right now.
Okay.
So what they do is they have like a little stand, and they have an umbrella, and some of them have the digital screens tell you wait times and closures for rides, which is great because when it's really busy in the park and sometimes you can't get to the app.
Yes, you're trying to really hurry.
And you can't see it. Well, you can go past these screens and say, okay, how long is the wait for Space Mountain right now?
Almost like if you're at the airport and it's telling you which gate your flight is leaving.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
It's so smart.
It's the same thing.
It's so smart. So do you think this will be something that is going to permanently?
They are going to do it in the other parks. And they've already renewed this team twice now. It was supposed to be for holidays, which truthfully, it's so busy in December that I did not see any kiosks. Truthfully, I didn't. And I've been there, but I think they put up more pop-up locations now. So, and it's really great because, like I said, there's many times that we're on fast passes, and I just want to know, I'll say to my husband, what do wait times look like? And sometimes we can't get it to work because Disney Wi-Fi is
Yeah.
You know, a little shoddy sometimes. So I think that was the idea of having the screens for that reason.
I think that's super, super smart. Also on Coffee Convo Wednesday, I wanted to talk to Michele because she has a dog and we unfortunately do not have a doggy anymore. But many of you watching have dogs and they're an important part of our lives. We love our pets. They're like our fur babies, but we love animals. And I just assumed that you couldn't take your dog to Disney. But I learned recently from this one here that you can.
You can. Indeed you can. We went to stay at the cabins at Fort Wilderness Campground.
Oh, I am dying to go there.
And I am just, before anybody said that, we talked about this before,
Yeah.
I am not a camper per se, but it's Disney camping, so it's glamping.
I was going to say, it's like glamping, you're right.
It's glamping. So it's like a little hotel, but in the shape of a cabin. So we have a little bulldog who I spoil and love, and we don't have any family here, so you know it's hard for us to travel and things, or even do staycations.
Right.
Well, the campgrounds, you can bring your dog. What? And when you check in with your dog, the dog gets a care package.
I mean, I know how much I love getting presents.
Yes.
I don't know if the dogs feel the same way, but I'm sure they're like, what is this?
I was excited. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, Jack got presents. This is great. It was great. So your dog gets like a drawstring backpack. As I say, it's for the dog. The dog gets a backpack. You get 2 dishes, like pet dishes that say Disney
food
on
and
them.
water.
Mhm.
Okay.
A placemat to put said dishes on.
Nice.
It's a Pluto placemat. And all this stuff is good stuff that you can use when you go home. A bag that has like, you know, for cleaning up after your dog. And then he got a little, like a Disney dog tag to put on his collar.
Now, is there, I would assume, like an upcharge for being able to bring your dog? Because like anywhere you bring your dog, if there's a hotel, you usually have to pay a little more.
I believe, don't quote me, I want to say $50.
Okay.
But it's kind of worth it because then you don't have to worry so much about your pet.
Well, if you're going to board them anyway, so
Yes.
say like you, there's so many people who don't have family and can't leave them with a friend, so you have to board your animal anyway, so that's great.
It is, and you know, the cabins are, you know, I've had, when we put out this type of information, a lot of people want to know, well, you know, people that aren't dog lovers, you know, they're like, well, does it get in the way, or does it bother anybody else? It honestly doesn't, because the cabins are separate. You got your own separate unit, so that if your dog barks or whatever, nobody's gonna hear it.
Nice.
And you can you know, rent golf carts, and a lot of people, it's big, like people take their pets on the golf carts and they go riding around, and everybody, you know, picks up after their dog, so it's very
So you're not like,
man,
man.
it's not gross, it's not, because it's Disney. I was so happy that we did that, because then I didn't have to worry about him. And he got to go on a golf cart ride, and he got presents. So I think it's great.
Kind of love that. Like, I kind of love that a lot. But, you know, in case you don't want to take Jack next time you're out of town, just saying, you know where you can drop him off here, because my daughters would lose their minds.
He's a sweetheart. All he does is sleep all day. I just, you know... Well, you know,
I do the same thing too. If I could, but I don't.
But yeah, so if you're thinking about doing a staycation or a vacation, and you have a pet, that the campgrounds will let you bring them. And did I mention they gave him the dog a present? I think that is so exciting.
I do too. I think it's because I like presents, and I know you like presents, so I think it's exciting as like a doggy parent, where you're like, oh, yay!
And when we got home, the bowls that they gave us at the campgrounds is now what he uses. And we're like, oh, he can't use his old dish now. He has to have the Disney dishes.
He has Disney dishes.
Right.
Hello.
That's great.
I love it. All right, and then finally on Coffee Convo Wednesday, the last thing, I saved the best for last. I was so excited to talk to Michele about this. Michele is from themainstreetmouse.com, and she just today, like as in she just left Epcot, she just came back from the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. And I'm excited because I went last year for the first time, because we've only been here a year and a half. So I went last year and I loved it. It was so fun. I took my mom and my 2 daughters, and they loved it. The butterfly garden, like I loved everything about it. So she just went to the media preview for this morning, and has been there all day, and literally drove from Epcot over to the house here to be on the show and tell you guys. So you guys are the first people getting all of the information. And go.
Okay, so usually they do the media media previews the week of the festival. The festival itself does not start until next week. But they had like the media preview to where you got to see a little bit of the food that they were offering, the merchandise, of course, because everybody wants to know about the merchandise. Yes. But if you can see, this is the book for this year. They got sunflowers and stuff everywhere too. But they're doing like we did before. They used to do stamps in your passport, but they're doing stickers again this year to make it easier. Plus, everybody likes stickers. Yeah. So
everyone does. Why is that?
So there's that. And then I got this little guy.
It's so cute.
It's an orange bird that he is going to be available. They did not give us a price yet. Okay. But they served like a creamsicle almost type of it was like an orange smoothie maybe?
Creamsicle, anything. I love creamsicle. It just reminds me of the ice cream man when you were a little kid. You're like, ice cream man! Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
So this guy is going to be available, and they didn't say where yet, but when you go to the festival, I'm sure you'll find him. And the merchandise that they have 2 Spirit jerseys out. They have a pink one and a purple one.
Really?
They have purple. You know, there's that. What's it called?
The potion purple?
It's color, but they have the lemonade that's purple. It's that violet lemonade.
Yes.
Okay, so they're making merchandise to go along with the violet lemonade because it was such a big
smart
thing. So they have like the purple violet lemonade ears, and then a jersey, and then like they even have socks. So yeah, they really do.
I don't know what is going on, but I was talking to someone, as I've mentioned on the show before, I'm on the radio here in Orlando at Z88.3, and someone just called yesterday talking about all of the different mini ears, because I was talking about it on the radio, they heard me talking, and she told me, I think she has over 400 ears. Wow. She has a huge collection. She was featured in the Orlando Sentinel here in Orlando, Florida. So I was talking to her for a long time about ears. And because you're obviously at the parks all the time, this is her job. Like, really, that's so amazing. Do you feel like in the last, I would even say 6 months to a year, like, I feel like Disney parks have really stepped up their ears. Like, I turn around and there's like, It's a Small World ears, and then there's like Sparkly Castle, and then the Magic Carpet ears, which I'm super excited about because Aladdin is my favorite movie, which is why I'm making her drink out of my first coffee mug ever, Aladdin. And I feel like they are just like churning out some cool, fun ear ideas and Spirit jerseys too.
Right now, Spirit jerseys are all the rage, of course, and that's why I was surprised they came out with 2 for the festival.
Yeah.
Usually it's just one. And then since you touched on the ear situation, when I was at a convention right before Christmas time, and they said that this year was going to be the year of the ears, to where we were getting all kinds of new ears this year. So if you think that the merchandise game is good before, it's supposed to get even better. And we're even talking about collaborations with different designers and such.
Kind of like what Target does.
Yeah, it's like I believe it was Ashley Eckstein who does the Her Universe.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be designing a pair of Leia ears, I want to say. But they have like all these different ears that are coming out for the next year. And I'm to the point that I'm going to need a new container or something to put my ears on, or a rack, because I'll see it and I'm like, do I really need another pair of ears?
I have to do the same thing. Like these, I kind of love because they're the Haunted Mansion ears,
great.
And I had to wear them today to go with my haunted dress and then my Haunted Mansion coffee mug. So I felt like I was keeping theme today. But you're right, you can almost get out of control, and you have to kind of go, okay, do I really need these ones, or am I just so excited? Then you're like, no, I really need them. Okay, now I'm just excited. No, I really need them. It's like this struggle.
And there's a lot of people that they'll see merchandise and that you don't know if it's going to be a hot seller or not. And then sometimes you want to buy them just because they might sell out, and then you're going to miss your opportunity.
Yes.
So
what I don't like though is people who buy stuff to resell on eBay. It's like the Delta flight attendant woman. No. If you've ever flown Delta, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you just think I'm weird. But that to me is like such a no-no. It's so unfair to other guests who are there and trying to experience the magic, and then you're hoarding all of this stuff to sell on eBay.
There was
cool.
It's not. There was I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago now. There was the Cinderella popcorn buckets, and there was an eBayer that had come in. And this is before they put restrictions. They have restrictions on some of it now, but this man bought like 2 huge bags, like garbage bags, full of popcorn buckets.
Boo!
And I guess you hear stories, but
Yeah.
I guess there was like kids in line that were like crying because they couldn't get their buckets.
Bless.
And he walked out like Santa Claus with a bag over his shoulder with the things anyway. So I think Disney is trying to be a little more aware of that because they put limits. Like back then, like I said, he bought out the whole popcorn cart full. But this was a couple of years ago, so they're trying.
That's good because I have seen that. Like if I've gone or when I go to the parks, I'll see like a 2 limit on like the Oogie Boogie that came out during Mickey's Not So Very Scary Halloween Party. We gave away one here on the show if you guys remember. I can't think of who won it, but there was a 2 limit, and I just got one because I didn't, need any more of those, and I knew if I got 2 then I would keep it, and actually I almost kept the one and didn't give it away, but I did give it away. But I'm glad that they do that. I think it's smart to put a limit on there so that that doesn't happen with,
It is. I think they're just trying to keep it fair, and because their merchandise game has been so great, they have to be. Today when I walked into the festival center, usually you can walk right in and go to whatever stand that you want to go to. Well, they kind of like they stretched it out this time. So like we walked in and there was like a curtain, and I'm like, no, I need to see what's past that curtain. And then they opened that curtain, and then it was about the food. And then here's me, because my audience is primarily women and they love to shop. I'm getting messages, where's the merchandise? and it's like, okay,
show us the merchandise.
Show us the merchandise. So they didn't care about the food. They wanted to see what there was to shop, but we had to do the food first. And then I'm standing in line, and I finally got to the merchandise. And then I'm thinking, oh shoot, because every festival they come out with the Dooney and Burke purses. Oh. Now the Doonies were not shown today, but I asked what it looks like because I'm nosy like that, and I knew people were going to ask.
The day you were coming here, we were going to ask you the same thing. What does it look like?
It's supposed to be a character-themed butterfly print. So it's going to be butterflies in different character themes. That's all I could get, but there's going to be 4 different ones, like 3 regular and an annual pass holder bag, and they will be available on opening day, allegedly, of the festival next week. But
March 6th.
I'm going to be going to look, that's for sure, because I want to see what it looks like.
One day when I grow up, I hope to have a Dooney bag. I did get one, and I gave it away here on the show during my birthday month. It was a really cute princess crossbody. And I think it's just the way I love presents so much. We joked about that. Well, it's not a joke, but I really do. But I love giving presents just a hair more than I love getting presents. So it felt so good to be like, I could now say I have a Dooney and Burke, but it's so much more fun to spread joy. And I knew that it would make someone else really excited. So that kind of made me like, but I someday hope to have a Dooney and Burke. So I can't wait to see.
Well, you never know. Like, you're going to find one. Like I didn't buy one for the longest time, but I was waiting for one that was like, oh, I have to have this.
Yeah.
One,
I think that's what it has to be. Because
it's a major purchase.
It's a major purchase. And there's so many different patterns. So if you aren't like a fan of this character or this pattern, then that's not the one for you. And you might want to wait till the one comes out that you're like, okay, that's the one I want to save up and splurge on.
I know people that go every time a Dooney print comes out, they go and they buy it. Like it's almost like people.
That must be the rich folks.
Yeah.
Because that ain't me, not at all.
I mean, they collect them. They collect purses, like and then they take pictures of like their purse collection, which is really cool if you could do that.
Right. More power to you.
I just think
can't do that.
For me, I have to be a little more choosy. But I was very curious to see what it looked like, and that's why it was one of the reasons that I ran over to that merchandise booth as soon as we were allowed. And I'm like, wait a second, there's no Dooney. But they do have fanny pack. They have a flower fanny pack.
Y'all who have known me for years know, like I talked about this years ago, and I always will sing, I'm bringing fanny pack. Yeah, because I love a good fanny pack. I'm not even kidding you. You want to know what to get me for my birthday? If you're counting, it's like 8 months away. I love fanny packs. Like
you're gonna love. I'll show you a picture of it. It's a flower that you wear. It's a glitter flower fanny pack. So
glitter and flowers. Yeah. It's almost too much for my brain to handle right now.
She's really excited.
I'm getting like warm. Is it hot in here? Oh my goodness. So wait, that's going to be available to get at the festival? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it starts March 6th and it goes through June.
Oh gosh, I don't.
But let me look.
Here it should be on here, right?
Yeah. June 3rd.
June 3rd.
I was like, is it 2nd, 3rd, 4th? I blinked in my head.
Good thing this is sitting there.
Yes. So it starts March 6th. It goes through June 3rd. So you have a while if you're thinking about planning a trip. But then there are also, hopefully, will maybe be some stuff you can get online. Do they ever put that stuff online?
Yeah, they do. There's some of the festival merchandise should be online. Maybe not the day the festival starts, but if you keep checking like the Shop Disney app, the Shop Disney Parks app,
Okay.
some things will be there, yes.
I have that app. I try not to go into it a lot because then it's inevitable. I want to buy something
It's
every
a
time
dangerous
I
app.
click on the app. Okay, so a couple of just housekeeping things before we let Michelle go and take a break, because she was on a local radio station this morning, on a news talk station, and then she was at Epcot all day covering this for her site, and she was so great to come over here and give her time and share all of the new information with you guys. And that's why I was so excited to have you on, because we talk about Disney all the time on the show, but we haven't ever done like a full-on all Disney episode. So I knew if we were going to do it right, we had to like go to someone who, you know, like is going to do it right. So thank you for being on.
Well, thank you for having me.
I kind of want to have you come back.
Anytime.
Like, all the time. Okay, so last week, if you were watching, we gave away a Popped Passion popcorn cake from ilovepopcorn.com. So I want to say congratulations to Bridget from Virginia. She won our Popped Passion popcorn cake from last week. This week, I'm going to have Michelle show you. She brought goodies for you guys, and I'm kind of excited about it. Now, if you were watching from the beginning, you saw a couple of things. But she brought this really cute, the Main Street Mouse bag.
These are brand new. We just got these in.
So cute.
Little cinch bag.
And then she has been kind enough to sign both of her books. And then also there are some goodies in the bag too.
We have, oh, it actually stuck together. Look at that. We have a Main Street Mouse car magnet. Yay. And being that you're wearing Haunted Mansion today, we have a Haunted Mansion button.
Yes.
And again, both copies of the kids' book, and then Moving to Main Street USA will be in there too.
So the way you do this, if you have never watched the show before, welcome. And if you have, then you know. You just comment the Main Street Mouse, and then just tell me the name of the state where you guys live, because it's so fun. People watch from everywhere. Like, you know, Bridget in Virginia just won. So we have people on the West Coast, the East Coast, right in the middle, kind of all over the place, which is what I love. And if you haven't shared this video yet, I would love for you to click share and spread the word, because we love to do giveaways, and every week we give away something. We talk about 3 things and give away something at the end. So if you want to get the Main Street Mouse prize pack, as we'll call it, just comment the Main Street Mouse and then the name of the state where you're watching Coffee Convo Wednesday, and then we'll come back here in a week and we will announce the winner right here on the show. Something I kind of also wanted to share, I'm really excited because Michelle and her husband Scott have invited me to be on their show. They do a Facebook Live show every Monday night at 7 o'clock, which you're on Facebook if you're watching this, unless you're watching on YouTube, but they're also on YouTube as well. But if you're watching on Facebook, you just go and like the Main Street Mouse, and then join us on Monday, is that right? Monday night at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And I get to be on with them, and I'm kind of excited because I want to tell you about my Luke Skywalker story. Like, I have a Luke Skywalker story that I haven't even shared on this show yet. So I'm kind of excited to tell you guys about that. But I'll put a link on here, and then I'll be promoting it, of course, all over the socials, because it's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. So thank you, Michelle, for hanging out with us today. And you can find Michelle, like I said, on all the socials, the Main Street Mouse. Find it on Facebook. And then what's your personal Instagram?
I just changed it. It's under Michele M. Atwood. Michelle with 1 L, though.
But if you are a Disney fan, follow the Main Street Mouse on Instagram, because she's always doing stories. Her whole team is always out covering all parks, Disneyland and Walt Disney World Resort. So I am always watching her Insta stories because I love Instagram, and she's so great on it. Follow my socials by going to cindysimmons.com. I will be back in a week, but I hope that you will join us on Monday night at 7 o'clock on the Main Street Mouse Facebook page. Spread kindness and joy like Nutella. And don't forget, you can listen to me if you are in Orlando, and if you're not in Orlando, you can download the Z88.3, spitting water on myself. Goodness, such a professional. You can download the Z88.3 radio app, or you can also go to zradio.com or tell the person in the room, her name's to play Z88.3 for you. And speaking of apps, is it okay to talk about?
Oh, sure, yeah.
One little fun thing too I want to tell you about is they have an app too. There's a radio app where you can listen to Disney music. Not, of course, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
No.
I want you to listen to me. But on the other hours, I'm just kidding. But it's fun, to be able to listen to Disney music all the time. So it is, am I going to say this right? It is the Main Street Mouse radio app, and you can buy, or not buy, it's free. I'm so sorry.
TMSM radio.
TMSM radio. That's
if you go, whether you have an iPhone or really any type of like app store that there is, it's under TMSM radio, or you can go to the mainstreetmouse.com and there is a way you can play it on your desktop, and it's park music, it's movie music, it's everything magical you can possibly think of. Even things like that are gone, like Wishes. We have Wishes music in there. Spectrum Magic, all that good stuff. Main Street Electrical Parade. And it's all free.
Electrical Parade is one of my favorite. In fact, it is my best friend's ringtone. So when she calls me, and she knows it is, so she knows sometimes I'll let it ring for an extended period of time.
Because it's great, and us Disney people love that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty great, and it's free.
And it's free, so that's good. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Have a great rest of your week, and like I said, spread kindness and joy like Nutella, and we will see you next week. Cheers!